it's me, Summer. Long time no talk, huh? How have you been? Has it really been 3 years since we last spoke or saw each other? How are you doing? How are Mom and Dad?
Why are you texting me? I thought I told you I never wanted to hear from you again. I asked you to do that one thing and you couldn't keep your end of the bargain for longer than 3 years? Is this a joke to you? How dare you? What the hell do you want?
It's been 3 years already, but I guess you're still as angry as ever at me. Don't you think it's time to let it go? Forgive and forget, you know? Everybody does it. We're not kids. I can't believe after all this time you're still holding a grudge against something that we could have easily laughed about. Sheesh, get over yourself.
You seduced and stole my fiance and ran off with him in the middle of the night. Without a note, without anything. I had to find out by watching our security camera recordings. Not to mention you leaving Mom and Dad to have full-blown panic attacks because they thought you were kidnapped or something. I wouldn't forgive you for that after 10 years, not ever, Summer. I really don't ever want to think about you if I can help it. I don't want to acknowledge you even exist in this world and breathe the same air as me. Why the hell are you texting me?
Wow. Really, June? That's how much you hate me? After all this time? Still? Over what, some guy? I am your twin sister, Junie. We are meant to share our lives together. What is one guy in a lifetime of sisterhood? Don't you think it's time for you to forgive me so we can both move on with our lives? I've been out of your life for 3 years, just like you wanted.
Like I said, a decade would not be long enough for me to forgive and forget about what you did to me. You living off my radar in total disregard of me or our parents with the man you stole from me for only 3 years is nothing compared to the hell I had to go through. Do you know I'm still in therapy because of it?
Choo-choo, I'm pregnant. I'm due in a couple months and I'm having twins, just like you and me. Don't you want to meet your only nephews when they're born?
Yeah, no, not even a little bit. I don't give two craps about any of your spawns because I know they're doomed to grow up to be just like you. I couldn't care less about them even if they were the last 2 babies on Earth.
How can you say something so heartless? Just straight up curse them, why don't you? Mom and Dad are the same way. I keep calling them to tell them the great news, but neither of them would answer the phone. I even texted them to let them know, in case they were too busy to talk to me on the phone. They're gonna be grandparents! Isn't that exciting? How can they pretend they're otherwise? How can they hurt my feelings so much? My emotions are already all over the place because of the hormones. You know, stress is not good for the babies. What if they come out missing a finger or a nose? Oh, you're gonna take responsibility for causing me that kind of stress?
Hurting your feelings. Are you gonna talk to me about hurt feelings right now? If you didn't want to get stressed out, why did you call me in the first place? What did you expect me to say to you? Yay, congratulations, I'm so happy for you. You came poking the wasp's nest, knowing full well you might get stung by one. Don't blame the wasp. Don't embarrass yourself any further by trying to guilt trip me. That'll never work. Stop calling Mom and Dad and stop texting me.
You think I wanted to call you up out of the blue? I had no other option. Can't you understand that? I am having twins, so they might come early, and I still haven't found a place to stay after they get here. My in-laws want me to move in with them once the babies come. There's no way in hell I'm going to stay with me in-laws. They are the worst. My father-in-law is a creep who keeps mentioning how big my chest has gotten and how I'll have to breastfeed my babies, and my mother-in-law, she has a classic queen bee complex. She treats me like I'm some mail-order bride who came to this country to be someone's maid and baby vending machine. I can't take my twins there. I'll have to take care of the babies with no help and do all the housework. I can't do that. So I thought maybe you and Mom can help me for the first little while. I have been craving Mom's food so much that I can't sleep at night. I miss her macaroni and cheese. I never liked macaroni and cheese, but I'm just dying to eat Mom's. I can almost taste it. I'm crying all the time, too, for no real reason. It's so hard being pregnant. Why can't you just forgive me so I can come home.
So, in that messed up little brain of yours, you thought you'd dump your twins on Mom and me so you could take it easy. The gall! Since when did you think you would ever be welcomed back into our family, let alone use us as free babysitters? Who do you think you are, Summer? And why do you assume I'm still living at home? How do you know I haven't moved out to be on my own or gotten married and living with my husband?
Well, I mean, let's face it. I know you've become a bit of a recluse since everything happened. There's no way you got over it and started dating again, right? What are you gonna do? Get on Tinder or something?
Sorry to disappoint you. I am actually married now, and I live with my husband in a cute little house with a great view. We even have a dog. She's a Cocker Spaniel, and she's absolutely beautiful.
What? You're married? When? When did that happen? You didn't even tell me or invite me to the wedding. I am your twin sister. How can you get married without telling me? What the hell, Junie?
Ha! Would you have invited the slut who stole your future husband if roles were reversed? I can't believe you have the audacity to say these things to me. You are truly a piece of work. What part of I never want to see you again did you not fully understand? I don't know how you twisted that in your head, but what I meant by it was I never want to see you again, or have anything to do with you ever again. An unplanned pregnancy on your part does not in any way render that invalid. I feel so bad for your kids. They have to be raised by a dumb nut like you as their mother.
Oh, shut up! You sound like the evil queen. Well, I'm still coming back to move in with Mom and Dad. Whether you like it or not, you better deal with it. I've already gotten rid of my old apartment and asked them to wire me back my security deposit. I plan to live with Mom and Dad until the twins are in kindergarten at least. Besides, what are Mom and Dad gonna do if I show up at their house? Slam the door in my face? With my 7.5-month pregnant belly and all? Yeah, right. No grandparents are that sick. Sure, it might take a while for them to warm up to me again, but they'll sooner or later realize how exciting it is to be grandparents. To them, it'll be like little tiny you and me running around the house again. Well, boy versions of you and me. But I guess it all works out then, huh? If you aren't even living with Mom and Dad anymore? All you have to do to avoid me is to not visit us there. I think I'll go right now, actually. I've got most of my stuff packed up already. They can't ignore me in broad daylight.
I strongly advise you against that. Trust me. You have no place left in the Rain family home. You gave up that right when you did what you did. Just cut your losses and go back to your in-laws. Face the consequences of your own actions for once in your life.
Don't tell me what to do. Besides, what do you care? You're married. You're not a Rain anymore either. You mind your own damn married business then. Leave me alone. This doesn't concern you anymore now that you're married. June, what the hell is going on here? I went to see Mom and Dad, but there's some stranger answering their door. I don't think they speak a lick of English. Who the hell is this? Where are Mom and Dad?
I told you already, didn't I? There is no Rain family home.
What the hell does that even mean? The house is right there. I'm standing in front of it, but there's some Asian-looking lady living there. Did Mom and Dad get a cleaning lady? Is that what happened? Did Mom and Dad move out? Did they get a new place? Oh my God. Are Mom and Dad dead? They died, didn't they? They would never sell their house otherwise. And you never told me? Did you claim their house and sell it to some strangers who are probably here illegally? I can't believe you'd do that. How much did you even sell the house for? Why wouldn't you talk to me about it first? Where is my half of the cut? Did you take all of it? That house must have sold for at least $1 million. You greedy dog. How could you be so selfish? Me stealing your fiance and you stealing my half of the inheritance are not the same thing. You can't take what is legally and rightfully mine. I will sue you, June.
You think Mom and Dad might have passed away sometime in the past 3 short years, and your first reaction is, where is my money? Shouldn't you be overcome with grief and regret that you weren't able to be there for them in their last moments? Shouldn't you at least ask me how it happened? Or where they're buried? Are you really that corrupted and blinded by greed that you care more about what they might have left you and how I might have stolen it? Yes, you and I are twins, but how different we are. Have you once stopped to think about what your despicable actions did to our poor parents? Do you even realize how irreparably you broke their hearts? You ran away with their future son-in-law, my future husband, never to be seen again. How dare you even think about the inheritance?
Well, what was I supposed to do? Frank was so my type. We are twins, so I guess we had the same taste in guys back then. I couldn't help it. I wanted him with all the fiber of my being. I thought you'd eventually forgive me for it and we could laugh it off someday. Who knew you'd still be holding a grudge and a vendetta against me? Ugh, so childish. And how irresponsible are Mom and Dad? They couldn't make sure I'd be taken care of after they were gone. They must have known I would have kids someday, right? How did they die anyway? They were only in their 60s, weren't they? Was it cancer? Was it a car accident? Oh, wouldn't they have left a fat life insurance check too then? Did you take all of that yourself as well? How dare you? Did you think I would never find out? I am really going to sue you if that's what it's going to take for me to get what is mine.
Okay, this has gone far enough. Let me stop you there before this gets any further out of hand. Nobody is claiming any inheritance or insurance money. Mom and Dad are fine, alive and well. They are the ones that sold the house because it brought back too many painful memories. Mainly of you, because they know what you and Frank did in the house behind our backs. They couldn't bear to live there anymore, so they sold it, for quite a profit too, if I remember correctly. And since I couldn't bear to let them live on their own, I offered to have them move in with me and my husband, Sawyer. In return, they helped me and Sawyer out with getting a decent-sized house. We were lucky enough to find a house on the market with a detached suite, so that's where Mom and Dad live, and Sawyer and I live in the main building.
So, your new house was bought with the profits from selling Mom and Dad's old house. It must be a huge house then. Why was I never told about this? And who allowed any of Mom and Dad's old house profits to go to buying you a house?
Well, it was under Mom and Dad's authority. They were the homeowners. They can do whatever they want with their own house. I'm confused as to why you're even asking me this. Do you not know how houses work? Anywho, it was a win-win situation, really. I am still working while being pregnant. Well, when my babies come, I'll have my parents to look after them when it's time that I have to go back to work. That part was their idea, actually. They want to be as involved in the babies' lives as possible. I guess they want to make sure my kids don't grow up to be assholes like you. And yes, they are very excited to become grandparents.
Babies? You are pregnant.
Yep, I'm about 2 months away from a scheduled C-section. I guess you and I really are twins after all. We got pregnant around the same time and we're both carrying twins. Mine are fraternal twins, though, so they're a boy and a girl.
Seriously? You found another person to agree to marry you and have kids with you? How? And how did you manage to get boy and girl twins, just like you always wanted? You know I wanted a girl, but I'm gonna have 2 boys. That is so unfair.
Whoa! Your babies can hear you, you know. They can feel what you feel. You can't have negative thoughts about your unborn babies like that. What kind of mother are you gearing up to be? Besides, I think you should be grateful you aren't stuck with a pair of girl twins.
What? Why?
Think about it. They would be your daughters. What else will they grow up to be except fiance stealing, home wrecking, midnight runaways just like you? That's the only plausible outcome for any girl you bear, don't you think?
How could you say something like that? What a mean auntie. How can you say that? I get that you hate me, but my kids are innocent. Leave them out of it. I am done chit-chatting with you like this. Right now, your unborn nephews are hungry and a little chilly and want to sit down and rest. We have nowhere else to go, so hurry up and tell us where you are. Send me a pin and I'll call a cab to get there. I have 3 suitcases with me. I'm not going to walk. The sky is getting super gray. I think it might even start raining. I don't have an umbrella and I'm standing in the middle of Mom and Dad's old neighborhood. Are you really going to let a little resentment get the better of you right now? I am your twin sister. Tell me your address so I can come sit down.
I keep telling you, you are nothing to me now. I have no siblings, let alone any nephews. You are a grown woman. Take some responsibility and take care of your own babies yourself. Stop looking for someone else to do your bidding.
Are you serious? Oh my God, you're so mean. Why are you like this? Come on, think about it. We can raise our twins together like quadruplets. Imagine how fun that'll be. Mom and Dad will be so happy to have 4 grandbabies. They'll be over the moon.
And let me guess, of course you expect the rest of us to pay for all the expenses too, huh? That's 4 cribs, 4 high chairs, 4 sets of baby clothes, 4 car seats, 2 twin strollers. I bet that's easily $4,000. If you can pay me that in cash up front, I'll reconsider letting you stay with us until your babies turn a month old. After a month, I'll draft up a list of expenses you owe me, and if you can pay that again in cash, I'll let you stay another month. So on and so forth.
Me? I don't have that kind of money. Are you crazy? If I had that kind of money, why would I be trying to come back home? On the other hand, you have a great job because all you did in high school is study. It must be paying off now, right? You're making good money. You can spot me. What are sisters for?
I wouldn't spot you if I got paid $1 million a week. By the way, where is Frank in all this? What the hell is he doing, letting you wander off with his unborn children? He is as much at fault for breaking up our family as you. Why is he not stepping up and taking care of his pregnant wife? Where is he? Is he trying to come live with me and my parents too? Have you both lost your marbles? Does he even know you're texting me?
Ugh, I don't even want to talk about him. After he and I ran away and got married in secret, he quit his job to get a better one. You know, so he could support the both of us. But he kept getting rejected by these big companies, interview after interview, until he had to resort to doing manual labor at a construction site. He did that for about a year, just barely, and then he quit when he broke his arm, saying he'd probably claim workers' comp and live off of that for a while. That was literally a year and a half ago. He's been spending all our savings without a job, without an income, and so now we're down to our last 2 digits in our bank account. It's either you let me in or I go back to my in-laws and live like a slave. I might kill myself if I have to go back there.
I don't think you have the guts to kill yourself. Don't try to threaten me with your life. And yeah, I do remember that about Frank. Frank used to say he wants to quit his job and come work for Dad. He probably thought working for Dad would mean a cushy job that pays a lot. I don't know what I used to see in him. In a way, you helped me dodge a bullet with him. I can't imagine having to live the rest of my life coddling him and urging him to be a better man of the house. Yikes. What a young, naive little optimist I'd been back then. I wasted so much time crying over losing him to you. It's so embarrassing to think back on it now. You live and you learn, I guess.
Yes, June, that's exactly right. You are absolutely right about Frank. I will make sure he gets down on his knees and begs for your forgiveness. If you just let us come see you, please. You don't want to let some lowlife like Frank be the one to drive us apart? You and I are twins. We shared our mother's womb. We can share anything. Come on, please. Pretty please. Think of the good old times. We can go back to that if you just let us.
You're really barking up the wrong tree, Summer. I have absolutely no intention of forgiving you or letting you and Frank anywhere near me and my family. Not for as long as I'm still living.
Where do you expect me to go?
Why do you expect me to care?
I have nowhere to go. Do you want me to be homeless?
That is not my problem. And yes, you actually do have somewhere to go, you just don't want to. Again, that is not my problem.
I really can't go back there. I hate it there.
Then I guess you're totally out of luck. Maybe sit on the curb by the bus station and ask people for a change. Who knows, maybe they'll take pity on a pregnant homeless woman and be generous with their coins. I'm sure there are some people left in the world who are decent. Don't give up hope, sis. My fiance's stealing twin sister finally relented and returned to her in-laws' house with her tail tucked between her legs. From what I heard later through the grapevines, she's been forced to find a job at only 4 weeks postpartum and has to support her family of 6. Her mother-in-law does nothing but the bare minimum when it comes to babysitting, refusing to change a single diaper or make an ounce of formula. Those are all left to be taken care of by Summer once she comes back home from a long day of work. As much as I feel bad for Summer's twins, I still cannot bring myself to forgive her for what she did to me. Maybe I'll give it a real decade and see how I feel. I have doubts, though. As of now, I fully believe she's finally getting what she deserves, and I'm gonna stop fretting over her texting me out of the blue and carry on living my happy life with my doting, loyal husband and still fragile, recovering parents. I have no room for negative thoughts in my life right now. Hashtag good vibes only.
Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hey, are you Martin? Martin Gulliver? Yeah, that's me. Who is this? Oh, cool. My name is Nathan. You probably don't know me. Yeah, I don't know any Nathans. Can I help you with anything? Boy, have I got some news for you. You might want to sit down for this, bro. Sure, if you say so. Is everything all right? Sorry to tell you this, buddy, but I'm your wife's boyfriend. Huh? What are you saying? Yeah, sorry you had to find out this way, but it's true. The other day she left her phone unlocked, so I went through it and found your number. I'll get straight to the point. I saw her at our high school reunion last year, and we got talking. One thing led to another, I took her home, and long story short, she's been my woman ever since then. Did you say high school reunion? Yeah, I thought I should be a good guy and let you know your girl's been stolen. Can I ask you a question? Go ahead. Where did this high school reunion take place? Just downtown in the city center, at an all-you-can-eat place by the Performing Arts Center. You might know it. Oh yeah, I've been there before a few times. Interesting. Anyway, your wife and I were classmates back in the day. She sat in front of me in math, and I would always copy her homework. Well, back in the day, she used to be one of those stereotypical shy, awkward, nerdy types with no friends, so I had zero interest in her whatsoever. But when I saw her last year, I was blown away by how much she's changed. You sure got yourself a hot, outgoing wife there, you stud. Too bad she's not loyal to you, though. We managed to sneak out of the party without being noticed. I took her back to my place, and the rest is history. It was easy, to be honest. She must be unsatisfied with you or something, because she didn't even try to act coy about it. Ever since then, we've been having a passionate love affair behind your back. I bet you never suspected a thing, huh? Seriously, though, it blows my mind every time I see her. How did you transform her into such a babe? She's totally different from how I remember. Lucky me, I guess. Huh, well then. What was the point of you telling me all this? Did you just come to gloat? No. I did have a reason to contact you about this. Let me cut to the chase. The truth is, your wife is actually pregnant with my baby. Are you sure about that? Positive. So, in summary, that means you guys have got to divorce ASAP before the kid arrives. That's the gist of what I wanted to say. All good? Do you mind if I ask a few questions? Go ahead, bro. When did this happen? When did what happen? The pregnancy. How many weeks along is she? She should be in her 26th week by now. If that's the case, then shouldn't she be showing pretty clearly by now? Yeah, you really didn't notice? I wouldn't have been surprised if you'd already found out the truth by now. It's pretty obvious. I think you've got this wrong. My wife doesn't look pregnant in the slightest. Seriously? You haven't noticed anything? Man, she wasn't joking when she said you guys don't get along. Do you even look at your own wife, bro? I guess you guys just aren't compatible after all. I don't agree with that. I get along great with my wife. I would have noticed if something like this was going on. Okay, man, whatever you say. Then, can I ask you some questions this time? I feel like I'm not gonna like this, but go ahead, I guess. You've got another woman in your life, don't you? Your side girl. Huh? What? No, I don't. You don't need to play dumb with me. So, now that we've established I know your secret, let me explain. I want you to divorce your wife, but I don't want her to have to pay alimony. You get it, right? I was racking my brain thinking of a way to get out of it when who passes me in the street? You, hand in hand with that tan babe. Yep, I saw it. So I followed you guys and saw you both go into that fancy apartment in the rich part of town. So now you're in double trouble. You think a married man can get away with buying his secret lover a fancy apartment to use as your love nest? I've gotta admire your guts, if nothing else. And you sure have some nerve trying to give me this high and mighty attitude. Seriously, what's with the moral lecture when you started this conversation by telling me my wife is pregnant with your baby? Double standards, much? That goes for both of us, doesn't it? We're in exactly the same boat, so let's get along, yeah? No, I don't think so. There's been a misunderstanding. That fancy apartment you saw me go into is where I live at the moment. What's that? And that tan girl you saw me with is my wife. Yeah, right. You think I'm gonna believe such an obvious lie? Don't try and get out of this, man, or at least come up with a more entertaining story if you're gonna bother lying. Let me get back to what I was saying and spare me the excuses this time. Have you finally arrived at the point then? Yeah, the point is both you and your wife are having affairs. So, your married life is more or less over at this point, right? There's no way you're gonna continue like this. So there should be no issue with you guys divorcing. And you won't have any lingering feelings for each other either. Moreover, the cheating is mutual, so let's just agree not to charge anyone alimony, alright? Neither of us want that. So can you guys just get a divorce already? I don't think I can go along with your suggestion since, I'm not even cheating in the first place, as I already said. Oh, come on, don't be ridiculous. Are you sure you want to keep denying it? Think about it, man. This is actually a great opportunity. If anything, I think you'd be crazy not to agree to go along with it. Look, Nathan, I really don't think we're on the same page here. You need to get your facts straight. Alright, I get it. You do? Really? Yeah, this is a lot to take in, and you're probably panicking right now about having been found out, not to mention your wife being pregnant with another man's baby. Good grief, you're a stubborn guy. I'll be a bro and give you some time, since I'm a nice guy. But don't forget, it's my kid that's in your wife's belly. You can't change that. You should get a divorce before it's too late. And no alimony charges, yeah? You don't give up, do you? For now, let's just leave the conversation here. Alright, be that way. We should decide on a time limit for your response, though. I know. I'll give you a week to figure things out. Fine then, a week it is, I guess. And you better not try run away from the situation by blocking me or something like that. Don't forget, I know where you live. Or at least where you go to see your lover. I get it already, I won't run away. And anyway, after such a weird, disturbing conversation, I can't just leave the situation as it is. What do you mean by that? I mean exactly what I said. Well, whatever. I'll be waiting for your response. And remember, no alimony. Hey man, what's up? It's Nathan again. So, what did you end up deciding? It hasn't even been a week, Yeah, I just couldn't wait. I'm an impatient man. Anyway, if you think about it logically, it shouldn't take long for you to come to a conclusion. You don't need a week to think it over, do you? Even a monkey could figure out what the best option for both of us is here. Like I said, we're in the same boat after all. So, what's the verdict? Yeah, about that. I do have a response for you, but I don't think you're gonna like it. So, while I was looking back through all your weird, crazy messages, I had a thought. You could say I had a feeling in my gut about what might be going on. So, to confirm my suspicions, I contacted a certain someone I had in mind. And who's that? I'm talking about Faith's mother. I figured out everything once I talked to her. Turns out my hunch was right. So, what happened? What did you find out? Just to confirm, when you talk about my wife, you mean Faith, right? Yeah, duh. Who else would I be talking about? Do you really have to ask? So, what did your detective skills dig up, Sherlock? Well, let me start out by explaining a few things. You should know that my wife is from Spain. Huh? Since when? Faith can't speak a word of Spanish. You said you saw me go into an apartment hand in hand with a tan girl, right? That's my wife, like I told you before. I wasn't lying. Wait, are you actually serious? I went to Spain a few years ago to pursue a business opportunity. I met her there and we ended up getting married shortly after. And by the way, she came to the US for the first time in her life 2 months ago. She was born and raised in Spain, so I think that kind of puts a hole in your saying that you met her at a high school reunion. Do you see why I've been so confused by your messages now? Hold on a minute. If you're telling the truth, then what's the deal with Faith? Did she lie to me or what? I feel like I'm losing my mind. I mean, in her phone, your number is registered as Martin, husband. So it has to be you. I mean, why else would she write that? Faith is my ex-wife. Your ex? We split up 5 years ago. What the hell? Are you kidding me with this? Don't do this to me, man. I have no idea why she wrote that in her cell phone, but we genuinely haven't seen each other in person since the divorce, and she's never tried to get in touch with me or anything. So wait, huh? This doesn't make sense. Does that mean Faith is actually single, then? Then this whole thing was just a giant misunderstanding. Well, that's relief. You had me worried there for a minute, but I guess there was never any problem to begin with if she's actually single. We can just get married normally then. I hate to burst your bubble, but you've got that wrong too. Wait, really? Then what's going on? The reason Faith and I split up in the first place is because she was cheating on me with another guy. I went to Spain around the same time that she married him. Whoa, seriously? Yeah, she had an affair with the guy and then married him once the divorce was finalized. No kidding. I had no idea. Returning to the subject at hand, like I said, I contacted Faith's mother and asked her a few questions. And I hate to be the one to break this to you, but she told me pretty clearly that Faith has zero intention of marrying you or divorcing her current husband for that matter. She lied to me? I have no idea, but at any rate, she told everyone that the baby is her current husband's. She was planning to stay married to her husband and continue to hide the truth about the real father. No way. That can't be right. How could she do something like that? I don't know, but since you went to the trouble of getting in contact with me to tell me you were having an affair with my wife and all that, I ended up contacting Faith's mom for the first time in years. I talked to her about what you said. She took it pretty badly, to say the least. Apparently, she went into a fit of rage and revealed everything to her husband. The whole family is freaking out and trying to get a DNA test organized for the baby to determine what's going on. Whoa, seriously? That sounds pretty bad. You can say that again. So, in summary, the whole divorce situation you were hoping for has really nothing to do with me. You'll have to talk to Faith's current actual husband about it. Yeah, right. No way in hell I can do something like that. You don't think so? I figured you were cheating too. I thought if both the husband and wife were having an affair, both parties could just agree to divorce with no hassle. That's the only reason I ever contacted you. And now it's all gone wrong. This is so messed up. How did this happen? Well, one thing's for sure, I had nothing to do with any of this, so please don't come complaining to me about it. It has everything to do with you. If you hadn't gone and blurted all of this out to Faith's mom, I wouldn't be in this mess. I had a perfect plan and you're the one who messed up everything. You hear me? This is all your fault. You've got to do something.
Do I really?
Hey, pay Faith's part of the alimony or something. You have money, right? I saw your fancy apartment.
And why would I even consider doing something like that? This has nothing to do with me.
If you don't pay it, then I'm going over to your apartment right now to make you pay it. I know where you live.
Don't bother, there's no one there.
You're lying. I won't be fooled that easily.
I'm not lying. I went back to Spain 2 days ago.
What do you mean you went back? Back to Spain?
The apartment you saw isn't even mine. It belongs to my relatives. I had to come back to the US to sort out some work-related stuff, and I brought my wife with me. So my great-uncle who owns the apartment told me I could use it instead of staying at a hotel. So basically, even if you get there, there's no one home.
So, you live in Spain now?
Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes I have to come back here for work, but I've been living in Spain with my wife for 4 years now.
You've got to be making this up. What am I supposed to do now? Man, I'm so screwed.
I couldn't care less what you do. It really has nothing to do with me.
Wait a minute. Help me out here.
Goodbye, Nathan. My ex's mother told me about everything that happened next. A prenatal DNA test was carried out on Faith's unborn daughter, and the results showed that it was Nathan's baby. Her husband immediately brought in a high-flying lawyer to deal with the situation. The divorce was settled immediately, with Faith having to pay alimony to her ex-husband. Naturally, he didn't have to pay any child support to her either. Nathan married Faith just like he wanted to in the first place, and they were happy together, or at least they told everyone they were happy. I don't know the details, but it seemed that after a lot of trouble, they ended up having to pay more alimony than they expected. I heard that Nathan and Faith ended up in debt because of that. So, in addition to working a full-time job, he had to also work a part-time job. But it turned out that having a side job was actually against company policy, and he ended up getting fired. Now they both have to work every day, regardless of weekends and holidays, doing part-time jobs or hard manual labor. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like this video, please subscribe.